Hello, everyone. So, this is my first podcast session. Here, I'll be talking about how was my 6 years of stay and working with an Indian restaurant in Republic of Ireland, making a handful of good friends. Let's start. Coming from a D&F background, that basically means I performed very poor in my bachelor's. So either I got a barely pass mark or I failed in a lot of subjects. Being that and being privileged large bench student in the bachelor's with 26 backlogs, I never thought I'll ever get a postgraduate degree in computing. It wasn't the script I wrote in the back of my mind, and it wasn't even in my subconscious autobiography. So it just happened with a call to explore a new country, a call from my cousin in America. A call which gave that 0.1% of the computing nerd in me yet another chance to taste and survive in the tech world and be another techie in the friends and family. And quite honestly, it was seemed like an escape and the easy way out to a better place professionally. I did took it. I accepted the call. I got the academics results required. Real quick, I had a party with friends and family in India and checked in with British Airways. Touchdown, it was around 7 degrees Celsius. Coming from one of the hottest regions in the world, it was a freezing winter, at least for me. On to my surprise, the pretty island still felt like home from day one, and even more, because it has a lot of more freedom attained, and I was loose from the baggage I acquired during the bachelor's, and I met a few good people, and some from the same town, and most speak the same language. That's in Ireland, and it wasn't just beautiful. Overall, it was adorable. Moved into Old Stone Street, Dublin 1, cracked jokes along with the new friends, quickly connected with the people around, and yes, I was happy to get into the Griffith College, Dublin. A nice and warm group of buildings with plenty of Indian students and some intellectual lecturers and staff. I felt like I was in a Harry Potter movie. So, moved into the college, and some of the fellow students stopped me and called their BFFs while I was smoking in the lobby. Haha, my eyes are hazel. And this is all happening in one of those countries in Europe with green fields and redheads, nice pubs, and good amount of immigrants. The charming Irish people and the much loved Guinness. So I used to get a compliment like, "Wow, look at this guy's eyes." Too good to be true. I wish I had written some fairy tales before. So, and it's the same old story. I had to get into the classroom, and classroom learnings didn't got me going. So, but it was a choice I made to apply for Ireland rather than the States. So it's all on me. I have to somehow keep going with the course, unless it's for that certificate. I wouldn't have made it. So it was a test for the grit I had from the get. So 4 years, it took me 4 years to complete the coursework, which was scheduled for 18 months. The programming in the sense, the coding level involved in the coursework was far away from what the knowledge I acquired. I once had 30% of attendance, the least in the class. But well, I had the charm and luck to get the visa extension after a year of requesting the justice. It was a roller coaster ride, tears on the face on multiple occasions, with very different emotions, failure and a laughter ride. I requested the official in the Garda National Immigration Bureau. I told them I don't mind to leave the country. I just want to complete the course. So it's that great, a positive and self-serving ask. Meanwhile, I was sharing at the home with different people who later became my closest inner circle till date. We partied, danced, traveled, and worked together. It was a pretty nice bonding to witness. 4 years passed. I was calling back home probably once in a month or two. I prefer to text rather. And 4 years in, I got the certificate in my hand. Wasn't loud and wasn't proud. I just did that again. So it took me 6.5 years, almost 7 years to complete my bachelor's, which is supposed to be completed in 4 years. And the same way, it took me 4 years to complete my post graduation, which is supposed to be done in 18 months. Worked my way through while a lot of friends were quitting. There are a lot of people quitting the course for sure. But I was happy for them. They went back home, they're home. And myself, after being jobless and borrowing money to getting the degree, the piece of paper with my name on it, it was a memorable win mentally. So from then on, I didn't fear, nothing. Positivity whispered all over my head. But then, now I had to get a better job, better than the current one, better paying job, and a job on the basis of my study in the college. But by that time, I was working with an Indian restaurant, putting delicious Konkani food on the table, ensuring the best service to all our guests for more than 3 years now. I really loved my job and working with my colleagues, each and everyone in the team. It was super satisfying. Now I have 2 years to get into a high-paying computer skill job, like the actual programming job. So that's to get the work permit in the country I loved living and dreamed of staying. So that was the thing I needed to get to stay in the country of Ireland. So I started the research about my interests and strengths in the computing tech industry. I have gone through books and courses. I took courses and nothing seemed interesting and easy. So I just continued with the job I had. It wasn't just the instant gratification you get from the guests in the hospitality. It was the kindness and like-mindedness of the establishment that made me keep going. I wasn't bothered about the visa extension at that point. I was like that from day one for sure. Many people and many friends suggested me to do otherwise. Well, I had to stick to my grit. And all of a sudden, I don't mind to go back to the home country. So it's no rocket science to be a good waiter in a restaurant 2014. So this was the quote. One of our senior managers told me. Okay, so I was a part-time waiter in a small restaurant specialized in South Indian dishes in Dublin, Ireland. So I was offered to take up the role by the senior housemates who were taking care of us, the newbies in the country. Prior to that, I worked with Leica Mobiles as a sales and branding associate, and then with Field Management Ireland, shelving even more products. It was a wonderful feeling working and making money for the first time. By the time I was probably 24, I guess. 24, 25. I just want to let you know the first ever mention I received at work. It went like, it was from a couple who are in mid-50s, I guess. So they're looking for a shot of Ruby Port, and so the comment I received was like, the waiter was very attentive, but he's not understanding what we are trying to say. Yeah. So they spoke to that they gave that piece of paper to our restaurant manager, he who referred and got me into the workplace. So we closed for the day. I wasn't discouraged, but explained about the port and sherry, so about the drinks they're looking for, and where I missed the plot and where I couldn't understand them. I wasn't the best. I've been explained about what happened. It was in the best interest of the business. So though I had a good exposure to English from school days, the Irish accents, especially the Cork one, was my nightmare for the first 2 years. I couldn't believe that I was struggling to pick with the words. So when I got the opportunity to move on to phone calls, Cork accent was still in my mind. It was funny. those scariest phone calls are what made me feel strong later on. At the workplace, in the college, as well as in Tesco's and nightclubs. So from then on, I continued to talk in English, and I started off talking way better. So I used to keep talking like I was born speaking English. So thanks to all our guests who saw me from day one and made me feel comfortable talking in English. Then it's 2016. The comments I got quite a bit changed. Those were like your English was way too good. So your English got so much better. Fair play to you. Thanks to all the reassurance I got. Their words were my delicious main course. Now I am one of the senior waiters in the restaurant. Front-facing and problem-solving roles were offered within the workplace, and I was happy to take them. So whenever there is a room to travel, we in the sense our roommates travel together. I was one of those latecomers to most of the parties. I was forgiven, but I appreciated. Sorry, not sorry. We, the housemates, with some others, traveled within the country whenever we get a chance. A 4-day, 3-night boat hire in the River Shannon, a holiday home in Wicklow, and Christmas parties and New Year's Eve clubbings and Telugu community gatherings were some beautiful memories I've packed. 2017 to 2020, more trips, more accolades, more mistakes, and more of everything. I was no longer a student but a graduate by then, and most of the friends are married, and I had to take this lead when needed, and I'm not the newbie anymore. So traveled along with the friends, with the new friends, with the new people who came to Ireland. So with the new students, with the new friends, we traveled along the Wild Atlantic Way and partied crazy. Favorite spots ranging from Hanger and Coppers to Eagle and Woolshed in Dublin. Guinness has become the usual order, and the work has become a lot more than the survival source. A well-rounded and a productive last days in the country for sure. I traveled alone, spent more than I was supposed to, and drank a bit more than I used to. Meanwhile, I was getting proactive on social after almost 8 years. Thanks to the influencers and entrepreneurs and content creators, I was consuming business and wellness content for hours a day. And 2 years in, I opened my mouth, and it's all about business and lifestyle and healthy living and productivity. The podcasts and data, the podcasts I was consuming, once in a while slipped my tongue. So I have had my highs and lows and been in the dark for some time for sure. But that made me get equipped with good communication and presentation skills thanks to the Konkan Indian restaurant and the team and all of my friends and housemates, Griffith College Dublin, my family and the country of Ireland for supporting me and teaching me a lot of good things. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with you. I just want to let you know. Now I'm happy to be back in India, staying calm and relaxed at home during this pandemic, taking care of myself and my inner circle. And by the way, stay safe and stay home and stay positive. Finally, I just want to let you know the one place which stays with me is Dingle Peninsula. Been there a few good times, and it is still one of my favorite holiday destinations, and I would love to live my old age in Dingle for sure if I get a chance. I'll try to work for it, and that's me and my life back in Ireland. Have a good day. Thanks.